Hi guys, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showing you how I added the door handle, the roller latch and the conceal close to this DIY sauna door. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first job here is going to be to create the handle, and you can see here I'm just using an offcut of cedar here, and I've already cut out the basic shape with the jigsaw. The next job is I'm just rounding off all the corners with the block plane. And this is pretty straightforward. All I've really done here is marked around 10mm down the sides, and then I've put a line directly down the middle. And what that's done is enabled me to create a reasonably rounded surface by just slightly adjusting the angle of the block plane as I'm doing it. So I'll show you here on the sides now what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw down the middle again. So you can see this is around 21mm thick, this timber. So you know, the middle there was about 10mm. I'm also going to do 10mm down the sides all the way around, and this just gives me the line to work to. So it's not overly complicated, this. It seems like it might be complicated to get it rounded, but really by just slightly tilting the angle on the block plane, it's reasonably straightforward. You know, you'd have to do something really wrong for this to be, you know, extremely flat. You'd have to just keep it completely still. If you are actually tilting it as you're doing it, you are going to end up with that really nice rounded shape like you can see here. So it's just a case of persevering. Once you've done one side, do the other side, get it all planed round, come down to those lines, get it as nice and rounded as I possibly could. And then to tidy it up, I'm just going to grab the orbital sander and I'm just going to go over all the edges here and just try and smooth it out and tidy it up. So I didn't really obsess over this and spend a huge amount of time on it. I just wanted a functional handle that looked decent, and I think the fact that it is the same wood that's used on the external of the door, just it kind of looks nice. I think it just fitted really well. So there you go, you can see what it looks like, and you know, I think it looks pretty decent. Now I did add some oil to it and left this a couple of days before I fitted it, but you can see me fitting it now, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure up on the door exactly where I want it. Just mark the top and the bottom there, ensure that I'm going to be putting it at the right height or thereabouts, and also I'm lining it up with the shadow gap on the internal cladding as well, because I want to hide the screws as best as possible. So once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to drill 2 holes through for the top and bottom of the handle, and then I'm going to put a couple of screws through from the other side. As you can see, they're just in that nice shadow gap there, just kind of hidden. I'm just going to screw them through to the other side just so they're poking out slightly, and what I can do then is I can push the handle up against them, and that's going to give me 2 little marks for my screw holes. So firstly, I just used a brad awl to make them holes a little bit bigger. I actually did use a drill bit just to make them a little bit better. And then I manually added a screw into each hole. And the goal here, really, the main goal, was just to ensure that I didn't snap the handle. Obviously, it took me a little bit to make it, and I didn't want to do it twice. So I just did everything I could to ensure that these screws went in nicely and it didn't split the wood. It's quite thin, so I didn't want to take any chances here. And as you can see, once this is tightened up, the door shuts perfectly. Just give them another little tighten just to make sure they're perfectly secure. And there we go. Following this, I moved on to installing the roller latch. And unlike a normal latch, I decided to start on the keep here rather than the latch itself. And the reason for this was mainly the thickness of the door. So I knew that the latch wasn't going to be directly in the center. So I just thought I'll add the keep first, and then I'll just fit the latch to the keep, which is, you would usually do that the other way around with a standard latch. But as you can see, I'm just marking around the keep there, and then I'm going to go around it with a really nice sharp chisel. And this is important, don't be doing this with a blunt chisel. Take 10 minutes to sharpen your chisel before you do this, and it's going to be much neater. So it's just a case of going around the pencil marks that I've made there. Following that, I'm just going to chop tiny little cuts with the chisel here at a slight angle all the way top to bottom. I'm just going to go over these again, roughly to the right depth. So this is one of those things that if you have a little bit of experience with this, you can usually get this right first time. If you don't have experience, just take your time and just take out, you know, a little bit less. And then following that, you can see that I'm just going to pare the rest out. So I'm going to apply some pressure to the top of the chisel and just push it through, and that's going to help me get that really nice flat surface that's just a mil or two beneath the surface of the door casing, so that keep can sit in perfectly nice and flush with the wood. Okay, so I'm just going to check that, and then the next job here is to add the depression there for the roller latch section, and I'm just going to mark this with a pencil, and again I'm just going to grab a chisel and I'm going to chisel this to the correct depth. Now this is going to be a little bit deeper, so you can see I'm using a thinner chisel. I'm just going to go all the way around it, and then I'm going to go at an angle again. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this round, and I'm going to kind of go at an angle the other way as well, and just chisel it out to the correct depth. So it's just a case of persevering here, making sure you take it all the way out to those lines, and it should fit in nicely. The only other job to do here is just to cut out a couple of little notches for the back of the screw holes, as they have kind of a countersink. And there you go, that's going to fit nicely. One last job is just the sloped edge. This is where the roller latch hits the keep, so this is off at a tiny angle. So you can see what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark the top and the bottom, and then I'm just going to slowly take that corner off at a little bit of an angle so that the keep just sits really nicely on that. As you can see, pretty straightforward at this point. I'm just going to drill a couple of holes where I've made the pencil marks for the screw holes. Once I'm happy with that, I can pop the keep back on. I'm going to get some nice stainless steel screws here, so obviously these are not going to rust. Screw that in nice and tight, and then we can have a look at this. It's looking pretty decent, so I think this looks reasonably neat. It's not the neatest job ever, but pretty decent, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now following this, I'm going to move on to the latch itself, and to do this I'm just going to make a couple of pencil marks just in line with that angled part of the keep there. I'll mark that onto the door with my square, and then I'm going to use the latch itself just to mark the exact size of the area that I'm going to be chopping out. And again, this has to be in line, so this, because of the thickness of the door, this is not going to be exactly in the middle, so it has to line up with the hole on the keep. So what I did was I just measured that and then just transferred that onto the door. So pretty straightforward here, just mark around again, and it's just a case of chopping this out. Now I will mention, if I was doing this with a normal latch, usually the barrel would be quite a lot deeper, so I may have drilled this, but because this is quite shallow, the roller latch, I just decided to chisel this out, and it was exactly the same process as chopping the roller latch part of the keep out. You know, it's a little bit deeper, so you're just going to chisel at a slight angle in one direction, and then come back and do exactly the same in the opposite direction, and just slowly just dig that out until you get to the right depth. So you can see here I'm just checking it, and then I'm not quite happy with it, so I'm going to dig a little bit more out until we get to a point where it just fits in nicely. So it's just a case of, you know, take a little bit out, check it, and then just keep going. Okay, so to mark this again, I'm going to use a nice sharp pencil that you saw there. And it's just a case of popping it into the hole and then going around the plate here. Nice and neat, nice and tight to it as well. This is why you need a sharp pencil. Then I'm just going to get the correct chisel, and this is exactly the same process as I did with the keep. I'm just going to go around the edges, so top, bottom, down both sides, you know, just to around a couple of mils worth of depth, you know, the same thickness as the faceplate. And then following that, once I'm happy that that's got a nice sort of perimeter chopped out, then I can start to just take that mill out again with a chisel, and it's exactly the same process. Slightly little angled cuts there, just at the top and the bottom, and then we can just use our fingers or the chisel just to sort of peel them out. It's usually going to be quite loose at that point, and we just want to come down to, you know, again around a mil or 2 mil, however thick the plate is itself. And again, if you're not 100% here, just take a little bit out, test it, you know, see if it fits nicely. If it's, you know, not enough, then you can take a little bit more out. The worst mistake here is just to really take loads out, and then you end up with it sat, you know, below the surface of the wood. So, you know, little incremental bits of chiseling are always going to be much better than just one really deep cut where you go too deep. Okay, so once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to pop that in, and then I'm going to grab a drill just to create some pilot hole for the screws. Once that's done, I'm happy with that, I'm going to grab a couple more of those stainless steel screws, and I'm just going to screw these in by hand with a manual screwdriver, because they can sort of be a little bit softer, the stainless steel screws. If I did that with a drill, there's always a chance that I'm going to round the heads on the screws, so better in my opinion to just do these manually. But as you can see, that's looking pretty good. The only other job that I did once this was done is I took the keep and the latch out, and I used some of this external wood glue, and I wasn't gluing anything in place here. I actually let this go off before I put the latch back in, but what I'm actually doing is just sealing the cutout. Now I could have used oil for this, but the oil generally takes a day or two to dry. It's just, you know, it's not practical, whereas the glue goes off really quickly. Okay, so following that, the last job is adding the concealed close. This can be a little bit tricky. This is just going to go down between the hinges, so the bottom and the middle hinge. I'm just going to mark out in the center where this needs to go. So I've got a little cross there, and this is where I'm going to start drilling. First things first, I'm just going to use a little auger bit here, much smaller than I need, just as a pilot hole. And then I'm going to use a larger bit here. Unfortunately, this was actually a little bit too small. I should have used a slightly bigger size. But the problem you have is, you know, the slightly bigger size, if I had used it, it would have been probably a little bit too big for the faceplate. So I ended up going with a smaller one. Then you can see that I've just gone around it here with a little square pencil mark, and I'm just going to chisel it out and continue going in there with the auger bit and drilling it out. Once that's done, we can just slide this in, and it's just a case like every other thing that we fitted today. We're just going to mark around the edges with a nice sharp pencil, and then once we've done that, we can actually chisel the face out again. We're going to do this to the exact depth, so, you know, just take your time. You know, if it's 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, just try and take a little bit out, check it, and, you know, if it fits first time, great. If not, you can always take a little bit more out. It's better to be able to take it out because you certainly can't put it back in. Okay, so we're just going to chop around the edges, and then I'm just going to chop those little bits out there, tidy it up a little bit, and once that's done, we can just put the actual concealed close in there. And you can see what I've done here. I've turned the other bit around on its side so we can get the screws in, and this is fully fitted into the door now. So this next bit is actually the tricky bit. This is where people usually struggle installing these, but it's really not that complicated. It comes with a little plate. So what you do first is you get a crowbar or something, you pull it out, and then you just slide that little plate in. So you can see the little plate that's slid over the chain there. And it's just a case of, you know, keeping going, keep pulling that out, sliding it on. You can see there I'm just moving it back one link at a time, and we just keep doing that until we can actually turn it around onto the door casing. And then it's just a case of transferring that over, marking around it with a pencil, so you can see here. And it's exactly the same as every other thing that we've done before. We're just going to mark around the edges, then we're going to do some little angled cuts just to take that out, and then we can fit the other side of the plate in place, and there you go. As you can see, that's looking pretty nice and neat. And following this, we have a working door with a handle, a roller latch, and a concealed close. Personally, I'm really happy with how this has worked out. Let me know what you think. Was the video useful? Did you enjoy this video? And listen guys, hit the like button, make sure you subscribed if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video.